Bonjour, mon cœur. It's your Archon of Wisdom, and I'm here to give you another Skitchin news. We're doing some coloring today. I'm gonna work on some trees, and I'm gonna work on some color correction of some little things here and there. But primarily, we're gonna talk about some allegations today, because that's the news that I'm gonna bring you. First on our docket, let's see. So, the first thing on our docket are allegations that just came up. I saw them literally a couple of hours ago come up on my For You page. I don't know, I might be late. You guys tell me, if I'm a little bit late. But, those are brought to us by Jordan Pauline. She is a Twitch streamer, and the allegations surround a Twitch streaming party that she had gone to, where she claims that she was SA'd. She claims that she was SA'd by another Twitch streamer, Tylil. That sounds so Asian. It sounds like I'm saying the K-pop artist. But no. So she's accusing Tylil of SAing her, and then breaking her phone. She says that he broke her phone, and left her with no way to get home, which is really stressful and really shocking. For some reason, it might be just because I'm like internet pilled, but this reminds me of the Gabby Hanna like rice gum thing like so much, where Gabby Hanna said that she did something that he didn't like, and he immediately like broke her phone and assaulted her, which is highly inappropriate. From what I understand, the streamer that's being accused of this has a partner as well. Like currently, Jordan talked about how the streamer was harassing her, repeatedly calling her and trying to, I guess, just harass her in general. Which is really terrible and really disheartening. Again, it reminds me of the Gabby Hanna situation so much, to be honest. Which is crazy. If you guys don't know, the situation with Gabby Hanna and Rice Gum is that she came up to him at a streamer event, and he did not like that she was recording him, and so he grabbed her up and broke her phone, which is, again, super inappropriate stuff to do. Not cool. Unfortunately, like, again, the reason why it reminds me of the Gabby Hanna situation with Rice Gum too is because of the reception as well. Like, I was looking through some of the comments and stuff already, like, kicking up about the situation, and people are not believing her. People are like, oh, this streamer is like a good guy, this streamer is a good streamer, blah blah blah. From just briefly looking into it, I'm not quite sure I understand that perspective, just because like I see the crowd that he hangs out with like has had controversy before, and like no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade, girly pop, but it's just a little, it just like, I don't put it past this person to have controversy when they're around other controversial streamers as well, you know. But again, for some reason the public reception is very much like, oh, I can't believe this, oh, not this streamer, like, no way, there's no way, like, this streamer wouldn't do that. And I'm like, bruh, this is a man we're talking about. What do you mean, Like, men are capable of so many evil things. So, what do you want me to say? What do you mean, a man? No, a man can't be capable of evil. Alright, bruh. It's a man at the end of the day. That's a man, okay? So, and I'm just more willing to believe a man than I am, I'm hesitating to say that because it's very situational. It's not to say that I don't believe when male victims come out. And like, that's a good transitioning point, honestly, because we are going to transition to talking about a male victim. We're going to transition to our second point on the docket here. And that second point on the docket is about Ethan Rhett. Ethan Rhett is a victim of James Charles, who is coming out again currently to kind of reestablish the idea that he was victimized by James Charles. He was originally it's not that his allegations weren't well received, I don't think. Not that so much as it was more of the fact that it was severely like overshadowed because his allegations got tied up in two allegations that Def Noodles had put out, and that whole, if you guys remember, just as a quick review, that whole debacle, Def Noodles had put out allegations about James Charles, and some of them were not true. A majority of them were not true, from what I understand. And in a deleted video, James Charles did admit to, he basically pointed out which ones were true and which ones were not true. But again, that hadn't overshadowed the damage that was kind of already done, unfortunately. So what had happened is that Ethan's allegations got really pushed to the wayside. And because he was so young, and I cannot stress this enough, he was so young. He was 14, and I cannot stress enough. I just, like, I can think back to high school, and I can think back to, like, freshmen, and, like, oh my god, like, that's still an 8th grader, like, very much still an 8th grader, not a child, like, definitely a child, you know what I mean? So because of him being a child, he was so scared and kind of so off-put at the idea of actually pushing forward with some kind of repercussion. And you guys can go check out Ethan Rhett's TikTok. He goes over, like, a lot of this, and explains it, but, like, I very much identify with the idea that he was very off-put by the fact that lawyers were like, oh, we can push for money, we can get money. Like, no, I'm not looking for money, I'm looking for justice because I was harmed. I'm not looking for money. And that idea is so insulting, and I definitely feel him on that. It's just an unfortunate part of the legal system. I've been in situations like that as well, where I am in a position where lawyers are telling me, well, what do you want from this person? Because there's no way they're going to get any kind of sentencing, and there's no money to be had from it. So there's really nothing we can do for you. And that's so, like, I want justice. That's all I want. You know what I mean? I don't want money. I don't want, like, all this other crap. Like, I want justice. So I can really identify with that part of his story, you know. And again, I encourage you, look him up on TikTok. Check out Kayla Malik's podcast. She also interviewed him for her podcast with her co-host. They do like an in-depth, like a way more in-depth situation explaining the proof and everything that Ethan has, because the thing is like they're not just allegations anymore when there's proof. There's very, very much proof of all of this. You know what I mean? And it's very, very clear what was happening. And again, like, I just cannot get it out of my head. Like, that was a little boy. That was a little boy, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's so crazy. And again, like, there's proof. Please, I encourage you, go support Kayla Malik and her podcast. Go support Ethan Rhett and his story, because it needs to be talked about, because James Charles is constantly on this path of, I want to be forgiven, la, 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 la. No, thank you. No forgiveness for you. That's not what we're gonna do. So I really like the idea of Kayla Malik being a voice for victims, because she has been victimized, not just in the sense of James Charles, because I know, like, yeah, there is that inherent connection with her, but I just like the idea of her standing up and supporting and like, fuck, I was gonna say upvote, but that's not the word, boosting the voices of other victims. I think that is something that is, like, a great thing that she can do with her platform now. She can turn around and, like, boost other victims like that, you know? And again, like, for those of you who don't know, James Charles is in the Kayla Malik situation for supporting Evan Johnson, Kayla Malik's abuser. You guys can look on the pod docket for the twin podcast that I had here. We talked about the Kayla Malik situation. We watched some videos, some content. I watched, like, her whole YouTube video with my former podcast host. So you guys can go check that out if you want to know more about the Kayla Malik situation. And just generally, like, the whole James Charles situation with that is just, like, he very much supported James Charles. James Charles very much supported Evan Johnson, is what I meant to say. And again, like, just, you know, for those of you who don't know, James Charles, Jamothy Charles, he has a lot of accusations behind him for talking to underage people and for preying upon disenfranchised people, or I guess vulnerable people. And that is just, I mean, I don't know a person who isn't familiar with those allegations. You know what I mean? Quickly, I'm going to leave you with some quick fire news at the end of this. People who are trying to come back to the internet. Number 1, we have Gabriella Hanna trying to come back to the internet, preying upon the idea of her being a washed up star, and desperately clinging to fame, also baiting this whole Christian identity. I heard she's married now too, also going at that angle. Very weird. I'm sure if she tried right-wing grifting, she could be a trad wife. Like, anyway, other people trying to make a triumphant return. We have Colleen Ballinger going on tour again. Who asked for that? I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't think of anyone who genuinely asked for that. But yet she's giving. She's living. So, yeah. Speaking of men's, our only man for this category of people who are trying to come back to the internet is Nikocado Avocado. Oh my god, Nikocado. Congratulations for trying to come back to the internet right now in this ending of 2025, our year of the devil himself. Nikocado Avocado has made a comeback showing off his body, and clickbaiting his body, and which I feel like he's very used to, and also seeking a girlfriend. Oh my god. And I think he has a girlfriend now too, supposedly, allegedly. So congratulations, bisexual king. Contrary to popular belief, I think it's not that weird that he came out as he's coming out as bisexual, because I think like all people are bisexual, and bisexuality/pansexuality is superior to all versions of queerness. But that's just me because I'm a little bit biased. No, like, I think that becoming a bisexual man or having like a bi awakening is not that far-fetched. To go from queer or gay to becoming bisexual, I think is not super crazy. I think it's just like, but I think it's crazy because it's Nick, and it's like very clearly like fake clickbaity bullshit, you know? I mean, I saw that he was making clickbait videos with a woman who is actually a comedian, who like is a comedian who plays upon her weight. So we'll see. I love you guys. That's all for today. Enjoy your sketch and news. Bye. Bye. Drink water. Be kind to animals, y'all. Mwah.